What can goats teach us about empowerment? If you watch goats that are fenced in, you'll notice that they explore every inch of their pen, often sticking their head through the fence to test how secure it is. If you ever leave a hole in the fence, or leave the gate open, when you come back, those goats will have scattered and be frolicking in the hills. Now this doesn't mean that they are bad goats. It's a goat's job to be curious and inquisitive. When they find a gap, where their fences aren't clearly defined, their job is to explore and see where it takes them. How does this relate to leadership? Teams need fences too, to give them safety and the freedom to explore. Let's take a look first at what happens when those fences aren't clear. When a leader says, "I empower you, go," but doesn't define any boundaries, teams will venture out, trying new ideas and approaches. But the farther they go, the larger the risk of taking action that puts both the team and the project in danger. Whether this is operating beyond their mandate, taking a risk that is too large, or redefining the project goals, these are all actions that can bring down critical feedback or negative reactions on the team. Not only does this send a message to others who are watching, danger, beware, it also discourages that team from ever exploring new ideas in the future or venturing beyond their original starting point. A much more empowering approach is to lay out the project, its goals, including the end vision, and any constraints, boundaries, or operating principles that the team needs to work within. After establishing this fence, the leader can then step back and invite the team to experiment and design their own approach to solving the problem. As long as they operate within the fences, the team can experiment and try multiple approaches, knowing that they are still safely within the project's boundaries. In doing this, the leader is also accountable for supporting and encouraging the team as they experiment, even if the approach the team takes is different from how the leader would have approached it. The last thing to know about goats and fences is that there's nothing more frustrating to goats than being inside of a very large fence and suddenly being moved into a smaller one. It's much better to start them off inside smaller spaces and slowly increase the size over time. When working with teams, bias towards smaller fences to start, which create more safety and smaller chances to demonstrate accountability. Over time, as teams prove they can handle increased responsibility, increase the fences by increasing the size of the goal and loosening some of those constraints. And that's your leadership lesson for today on goats and leadership.